Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me today for my reviews of seasons 1 through 4 of Cobra Kai. This is just going to be a brief summary and my overall thoughts. I know I'm quite a few years behind on this show, but I finally did it. I finally watched Cobra Kai, as I've been a big fan of the Karate Kid movies for years, and I have to say, I shouldn't have waited this long to watch it because it's really, really good. I would possibly say even great, with a few minor nitpicks here or there. So, the first thing this show really does well is nostalgia. It really brought me back memories of watching the original 3 films. They do a great job of tributing those films. I love how they use some of the same songs and music from the original films. The soundtrack's great, as I grew up in the 80s. I love 80s music, so that works for me. But I will say the film also does a good job of modernizing the characters while paying tribute to the films and some of the newer, younger teen characters who are also very important to the plot are used very well also. So I would say Cobra Kai is a mix of a lot of different genres. I would say there's a lot of drama, comedy, some teen soap in there, which is handled well, and some action. And it does a good job of blending all these things. And I think what makes the characters so great is that they're all very complex. Even the ones that would be considered the good guys, I guess, the old cliche, have some flaws, some issues, and even some of the villains have a few likable moments. And we also get backstories on a lot of the characters, which are all great and make them interesting as well. It's always good on a show when you're not really sure who to root for, or you're rooting for everybody and you have mixed feelings about what's going on. Another nice thing is that there's a lot of smaller roles for actors that were in the original 3 films. I was really surprised by this. I mean, I knew Ralph Maccio and William Zabka that play, Daniel and Johnny were in the show, and I also know that Kreese was brought into the show later on, but I didn't realize that all these other characters were brought into the show as well. And what I really like is the characters are not used as gimmicks. All these small roles have a part to play in the show. As far as the seasons go, they're pretty consistent throughout, although I will say seasons 2 and 3 are the best in my opinion. Season 1's more of a setup. It's a great setup, but it's a setup, and Season 4 I thought was a little uneven and started a little slow. But to be fair, I thought the last 2 episodes of Season 4 were great, and maybe the best 2 episodes of this show thus far, so that kind of makes up for it. In terms of anything else I like about the show, I just really enjoy the tone and the mood. It's kind of light for the most part, but there are some darker, heavier moments, especially in some of the flashbacks of certain characters. But it all balances out really well. In terms of a couple slight flaws, I do think maybe the plot is getting a little repetitive after 4 seasons. They're kind of just doing the same plot over and over and kind of throwing a different character in the mix, which is fine. It's still working, but I think maybe a few of the more main characters, especially some of the teens like Miguel, Robbie, and Samantha, need to maybe go in a different direction. Because it looks like they are taking Daniel and Johnny in a different direction, which is very, very good. And also, and this is a trap I think a lot of shows fall into, they're kind of in danger of throwing too many characters into the show. Now, Cobra Kai is, for the most part, a 30-minute show. There's a few episodes that are a little longer. But unless they're going to expand this to an hour show, the new characters are fine, they're interesting, but you can only fit so many characters into a half an hour, and they're kind of running into the thing now where some characters are disappearing for an episode or 2. Some storylines I want to see what's going to happen maybe aren't being focused on or fleshed out as much as they could be. For an example, there's a storyline with a girl named Tori and Daniel's wife Amanda, which I think is interesting, but just not getting enough of it, because there's so many new characters being introduced. But it's still working so far, just kind of a caution maybe. We have enough characters at this point. But those are kind of nitpicks. Overall, the show is great. It's very hard to kind of reboot a franchise like this. It often fails, especially in TV show form. But I think Cobra Kai understands that staying true to the characters is the most important thing, and having engaging and involving complex storylines and characters, and I think the show is doing a great job so far. And now, because I'm caught up, I have to wait quite a while for season 5 like everyone else. I will be doing some more TV show reviews. I've kind of started getting back into TV for a while. I'm watching Squid Game now, so I'll give my thoughts on that probably when I finish it. Also, more movie reviews coming soon. So I love Cobra Kai. I recommend it. If I had to give a rating, I would say season 1 and 4 are probably like a 4.5 out of 5. Seasons 2 and 3, I'd probably give a 5 out of 5. So we'll be nice and round it up and say that Cobra Kai gets a 5 out of 5 so far. Thanks for watching.